Hello everyone, this is Just a Dad. Today I'm going to do an unboxing and kind of a small review of this Milwaukee M12 cordless subcompact bandsaw kit. I'll put a link to this in my show description notes where you can get it from Amazon. I am an Amazon affiliate. If you do click on the link, I do get a little bit of money from that click. The products don't cost you anymore though. So it's just got this cardboard that's covering it. So let's get it opened up. Okay, let's open it up. Okay, so it comes with a standard, looks like their standard M12 charger. Some product stuff here. Talks about the blade. It does come with a battery, and the battery is installed. And you gotta push these little tabs right here to get the battery out. And there's your battery. It's the 3.0 amp hour battery pack. It's kind of their bigger one. Okay, so up here, looks like we've got the blade and the manual. Tucked away in there. Okay, so you're gonna have to charge the battery. It shows the battery level right here on the tool, and it's only got 1 bar, so we're gonna have to charge the battery. Okay, so it's got this really nice chart, but we can only use the subcompact right here on the right, because if we look, that's what this is. This is the subcompact bandsaw kit. So there's a lot of options with the deep cut and the compact, but with the subcompact, looks like that's the only part number. Kind of a thin metal blade. And I undid the blade. Here's what the blade, it looks like a pretty nice blade. I think it's got the Milwaukee logo on it somewhere. Yeah. Extreme thin metal. Okay, so this is not a heavy duty one. Okay, I was just going to do a quick rundown on the charger. So it says it's going to take between 30 and 75 minutes depending on the charge of the battery. So it's pretty simple. It's got these little like ears, I call them, and they glide right in there. So it will only go one way. But you do have to kind of push it down. Now let's look at the output, 12 volts, 3 amps. Let's look at the output again. Input 120 volts, 60 hertz, 750 milliamps. Output 12 volts, 3 amps. Okay. So this is the M12 charger. And again, this is because it's kind of one of their bigger battery packs. It says it's got 3,600 watt hours lithium ion. Okay, so let's kind of look at the tool. It's got a trigger, but it's got the safety lock you got to press first. And then that works okay. It's got this for changing the blade. Normally it's in that position. It says it has an LED light. Motor kind of sticks out that way. Feels balanced. It's small though. This is considerably smaller. Okay, this is metal. Feels like a lot of metal. Now this is different. See, this is kind of enclosed. I kind of like this part. On a lot of these, this is wide open here. But it's got these like little hinges. I think it's kind of a heavier duty plastic, but it's definitely plastic. So you got to move both of those. And then this hinge. But I find that I'm constantly pinching myself, because when you lay it down, it snaps closed. So you just got to be real careful. So here we have the tool. This has got a really thick rubber on it. These are your rollers. Some kind of adjustment there. And again, this is what moves in and out for taking the blade on and off. Again, this is plastic. This hinge is kind of plastic. I can see where that might be a weak point. Backside. Okay, so left to, it's about almost 13 inches, almost 12 inches. And the motor and the handle stick out about 7 inches. And then it's about, it's only about 6 inches here, but it's about 7 or 8 inches here. Okay, so let's install the blade. Again, you're going to put it in this position to install the blade. And then when you get the blade installed, you're going to move it to this position. So put it to this position first. Flip it over. I got the battery out just for safety. And then let's put the blade on. Now the blade, you're going to put the teeth facing you. Now if you put it in backwards, the teeth will be down. But you want the teeth kind of in this open area where you're going to do the cutting. So the teeth go facing up. Okay, so kind of get it in these grooves first before you wrap it around. Get it in between this roller and this roller before we wrap it around the big pulleys. Again, you may want to use gloves. These are not super sharp, but they are kind of poking you. So I've got it in between both groove rollers. Now I'm going to work my way around the big pulleys. Okay, you can see I've got it installed. Kind of sits right on that really thick rubber for the big pulleys. You're going to have a little bit of slop down here. But now I'm going to take this arm and move it, and that should tighten it up. So moving this arm it's kind of tight. There, kind of clicks, and it should stay in that position. So this thing on the bottom, the blade could get on the back side of it, but it should ride on top. And when I first put it in, the blade was kind of on this side, but it needs to kind of ride on top of that. So the manual doesn't talk much about that, but it looks like you might be able to adjust that, or maybe replace that. But it just talks now about closing the lid. Again, make sure those hinges are like that. You're going to lock the hinges. And it talks about if the blade starts to slip, you're going to turn this. This is the blade tracking adjustment. It's got a little straight slot. Okay, I've got the battery. This is a different battery. I've charged. This battery's got some charge. It comes with the 3.0. This is the 4.0. So this is not what it comes with, but I've got it installed. Now let's give it a try. So it does have a light. All right, so one more measurement. That is about 1 3/4 inches. Now this is going to vary, but about 2 and 3, almost 3 inches. And it's got this kind of area here. So this cutting depth, it looks like a maximum of about 1.5 inches. You're going to be able to cut through about 1.5 inches of conduit or something, if the conduit is 1.5 inches on the outside. Okay, so the LED light does stay on for a little bit when you're done running it, but again, every time you pull the trigger, it tells you the state of the battery. It's got like an electric brake. It stops. It's not super loud. It's very lightweight, but this is definitely a subcompact one. Okay, so I mainly got this for doing this is liquid tight. It's got some metal in there, but you got to put a nice cut on it. Okay, so I'm going to show you how it cuts through this liquid tight. I'm not super impressed with it. Boy, I've got a Dewalt that just does so much. That's such a better job. This thing just lacks power, feels like. But again, it's for super light metal. This is what I'm trying to replace. I got the Dewalt. This thing cuts it like butter. So this one feels almost a little toyish, like it's just not going to have enough power. I was really wanting to replace this. This is my Dewalt. It's kind of big and heavy, but I'm wanting to go to this M19 or this M12 battery style with all my different tools, and get away from this lithium-ion Dewalt. Every time I try to get away from this Dewalt lithium-ion, I'm finding that I'm regretting it. Now this is a bigger one. This is their DCS371. You know, this is kind of their meat and potatoes as far as cordless bandsaws. This thing has been a rock solid performer. It is just kind of heavy, but you can see it just, this one looks like a toy compared to it. So I might regret my purchase, but at least you know what you're getting when you get this Milwaukee. Again, this is the SubCompact. I'm sure their other ones are a little bit nicer, but just really wanted to go to this M12 battery pack style, just to kind of get away from the big bulky DeWalt stuff. But man, if you're a contractor or something, the DeWalt 20 volt max stuff, it's just a good performer. Again, I hear a lot of good things about Milwaukee, and I've been trying to buy their stuff, but I don't know that I'm completely sold on the Milwaukee stuff. This thing I think is going to be more of a toy. I mean, more of just a really general purpose cutting. So thanks everybody for watching. If you could, please like and subscribe.